Okay, we shall start the webinar. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today for our public training session. So my name is Timothy, and I'll be your host and or coordinator for this afternoon. So I hope everyone's had a great lunch, and it's really wonderful to see a very strong turnout for this webinar. Okay, so the course that we're about to begin is titled How Automation in Document Handling Saves Time and Sanity. So this course is designed to help you understand how automation or workflow can simplify everyday document processes, reduce costly errors, and free up valuable time for more meaningful work. That means if let's say you are preoccupied with all the menial work, manual processes, you will free up a lot of plenty of time. Okay. So about this, so let me introduce our trainer for today. He's Mr. Eric Chu. Mr. Eric has years of experience in helping companies, organizations improve their business processes through business document automation. So with his expertise in workflow optimization and digital transformation, you are definitely in good hands lah. Okay, so just a few reminder, a few housekeeping rules before we begin. This session, first and foremost, will be recorded. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to raise your hand or ask, or you can drop them your concerns or questions anytime in the chat box. So we will also have a dedicated Q&A sessions at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions that you would like to save for the end of the Q&A, also is fine. And lastly, if you so happen to get disconnected from the Zoom, no worries. You can just simply join back through the same link. Okay. So we can sit back, stay engaged, and take plenty of notes because I believe you gain some valuable insights from this webinar. With that, I hand over the session to you, Eric.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim. I'm very excited for everyone to be here today. Yeah. Well, so for today's session, we are going to, of course, explore a little bit in terms of automation in document handling. But before that, let me introduce myself first. Okay. So my name is Eric. Yeah, I'm a training and development specialist. So I've been in the tech industry for more than 5 years, and I specialize in systems and also implementation. Right. So throughout this time, I've served in different industries, financial institutions like bank and also insurance industries, also production industries and government as well. Okay. So for this session, I hope you are able to take something back, take something home with you, find something useful, right? And throughout the session, of course, if you have any questions, do feel free to drop your question in the chat box, okay? Don't hesitate to ask. Asking is free. Drop just drop your questions in the chat box lah. Okay, so I'll address it when I have the chance. Okay, so I also don't hope that this session is only a one way lah, where I'll be the only one talking and So I also hope that somebody will ask something. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let me start the session and let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay. So welcome again to this session on how automation in document handling saves time and also sanity. So in this session, we'll of course explore, what is automation and how automation in document handling works, and what is the benefit of it, and how does it compare in uh, business processes. Okay, so without further ado, let us start the session. So before this, just take a look at this video, okay? Right? So this video, it just basically, I think you cannot hear the audio anyways, but it just highlights, the work that people do in all these different industries, in production industries. Okay, so basically it highlights all this work that is done. Okay, all this repetitive work that is done in all different industries. Okay, yeah. Okay, so based on the video that you see just now, you can see people doing repetitive tasks. Yeah. Then after that, based on that video, okay, and also maybe based on your own experience, I would like to ask a questions. Are humans able to perform repetitive tasks and expecting consistent results out of it? Okay, so yes or no. Okay, so if you think it's yes, put it in the chat. If you think it's no, put it in the chat as well. So I just want to see what is your opinion on this.
So we have one response on the chat.
No? Okay, good. Others?
Don't be shy. There are no wrong answers.
No. Okay. So the majority consensus is basically no lah. I see a lot of no. Okay. Are there any other people who would like to try? Can using AI. Yeah. Yes. So physically, to be human, right? I would say can towards a certain extent. Okay, so humans can do repetitive tasks and expecting consistent result out of it uh towards a certain extent. Okay, not in a very long time frame. Okay, not how to say not in an extended time frame. Okay, so the answer is yes, but with limit. So if you want something that is more permanent, then the answer is obviously no lah. Okay, because being human, we tend to do a lot of mistakes. All right. So mistakes is a daily part of being human. Yeah. Right. So when all these processes that is in place, and let's say if you have a lot of documents in your company, right? And putting in the human element. So what does this translates to? Okay, it translates to having mistakes, right? Okay, so this is the next part that I would like to show. Okay, so what are the hidden costs of mistakes? Okay, so meaning that, say for example, if you have a business process that is repetitive or there's a lot of documents, you know, then you'll make mistakes. So what are all these, the cost of all these mistakes? Basically, the cost of mistakes almost always end up in three things. It's either financial loss, productivity loss, or compliance risk. Okay, so let us take a look on the different item. Okay, so in terms of financial loss, okay, so say for example, if you know, you are required, yeah, to pay your service provider at the 5th of every month. But because there's no system in place to keep everything in check, nothing to track, then after that, chances are, perhaps sometimes, you will pay later. So this result in late fees and also some form of penalty. So it could be, let's say, because there's no processes in place, okay, you did the wrong payment to the wrong person, okay? So meaning that you cannot get your money back, All right. And if let's say you have a lengthy approval process for any proposal, and that proposal is used to tender for any projects for your company, right? If you have any lengthy approval process, chances are you are going to lose out on business because other people already tendered for the project. Okay, so in terms of productivity losses, right? Having no system in place, meaning that you need to waste time to search for documents. Okay, you do not have a automated process, meaning that the automation of the process falls on the individual, meaning instead of their usual job, okay, their normal job, they also need to enforce the process. They need to keep track of who to send to, who to do this, who to do what, right? So this results in productivity loss. Okay, there's also in terms of compliance risk, right? So say, for example, if you have an audit, okay, and you submit the wrong version, or you submit a version without required signatures because there's no system that is automated in your company. Okay, this will result in uh, some form of penalty as well, lah. Okay, so all in all, because of mistakes, okay, your business may suffer financial loss, productivity loss, and maybe some compliance risk. Okay, so this begs the question, how do we prevent all these mistakes from occurring, right? So the simple answer to that is by having a system in place and having automation to your processes. So the form of automation that we are going to talk about today is going to be workflow. Okay, so it's just workflow. So what is exactly a workflow? Okay, if you see the definition over here, a workflow is a digitized and often automated sequence of tasks and activities performed using technology to complete a business process, replacing manual or paper-based procedures. Okay, so what does this mean? This means workflow, okay, is a digitized version of your processes. It takes away the enforcement of process from the individual to the system. So it automatically runs in the background. Okay? So basically, that is what workflow is. So let us take a little let us take a look on what is the benefit of all this workflow and the automation of processes. Okay? Now, if you automate your process, chances are you'll have faster turnaround. What is faster turnaround? Meaning that your process of conceptualizing to approval will be faster. Say, for example, if you need to come up with a proposal, okay, and you only have manual processes in your company, chances are you need to conceptualize the proposal, you have to write it. Once it's done, then after that you have to look for your manager to approve, and once they approve, then after that they need to look for another person for approval or review or something like that. Okay, so meaning the person not only need to conceptualize the entire thing, not only need to, what you call it, to write out the entire proposal, but they also need to keep in mind of the process that they need to uh, run the proposal through. Okay, so if you have automation, what does it solve? Basically, it solves all the hard work, all the processes, all the things that is supposedly in the background. Okay, so when the processes is automatic, you can focus on conceptualizing the proposal, to writing it, and then to just submit, and the system will take care of who to send to, and then how to process it later on. Okay, so basically that one, it results in a faster turnaround. So you, instead of wasting your time to enforce the process, you can use your time in order to make another proposal. All right. So basically, it saves time. All right, saves time and also effort. Like I said, because the system automates the processes. Okay. So the individual do not need to keep track of the process. They can focus on what they are paid to do. Okay. So this also results in fewer errors. Okay, because when you automate your process, meaning that you already need to set your process in place. Okay, so when things are set, people don't need to make that much of a decision. Okay, so as an individual that has a process in place, what they need to do is to just focus on what they do. Okay, they don't need to think of where do I send this for approval next? Do I send to approval A or approval B? No, because the process is already set, right? The individual only focus on what they do, then after that submit, and the process will run automatically. Okay, so this is few of the benefits of automation, right? Other benefits, you'll also see things like consistency. Okay, so in terms of consistency, because the process again, the process is set. Okay, the process is already set in the system. There won't be process A being done today and process B being done tomorrow. It is all going to be automated one process for a certain item. Okay, and you also have better transparency. Why better transparency is because when you submit something for approval, say for example, if you are using a manual process, you might not know uh, where at which stage your approval is. Say for example, uh, you have something that requires review and approval. Okay, you have a claim that require review and approval. Okay, so you submit to your manager for review, and your manager need to submit to HR for approval, right? Say for example, if that's the case lah. So the moment you submit manually, if this is a manual process, the moment you submit to your manager, you do not know what happens to the document after after that point. Okay, whereas if there is a process automation, a workflow that is running, you can check which stage is. So this is where you can find out the approval bottleneck or the process bottleneck is. Okay, you can see where the process is stuck. All right, and also it brings more accountability. All right, so comparing manual processes and also automated processes. So accountability, this thing is basically not enforced in manual process. Okay, because like I said, if let's say you have a process running and the moment you submit a document, after that you do not know what happened to the document, right? Whether it is being reviewed, whether it's being approved or rejected, and so on and so forth. So when having a system in place, when having a workflow system in place, you can always check what happens to the approval. So if it's already approved, it's already been reviewed, and then it's on the approval stage, and the at the approval stage, somebody said that, this shouldn't be approved because it lacks certain document. The reviewer cannot say something like, oh, this one is skip my process. I did not finish reviewing this. No. Okay, because the system is in place, it makes sure everybody fulfill their role. Therefore, accountability is enforced. Okay, so these are some of the benefits of workflow automation. Right. So now that we've already understood the benefits of workflow automation, right? How are all these digital workflows better than all these manual signatures and emails? Let us do a comparison. Okay. So we have an example here of a process for student admission. Yeah. So this is a process used by certain university lah. Right. So basically, upon submission, the submission of the admission will go to the admission department. Okay, whereby it will be processed, and after that it will be sent to the faculty admin, and then it will send for the faculty HOD evaluation, and then it will be sent to the dean for approval. Okay, this is a rather simple process, yeah, a linear process. Okay, so let us imagine this process if it's done manually. Okay, so chances are a student wanting to be admitted, they'll go to the admission department, fill up a form, submit to the admission department staff. So the staff will process and then walk to wherever the faculty admin is. Okay, so the faculty admin will then process and then they'll also walk to the HOD where the HOD is, okay, for evaluation. Now, if let's say the HOD is busy, say for example, they are consulting their student, right? Chances are the faculty admin will need to go to the HOD for evaluation at a later date, okay? So this one can be endless depending on how busy is the HOD, right? So they have to walk there, check, or if they are busy, come back, and then after that go there again if they are busy, or they have to wait for a while, okay? Fine. So once the HOD done evaluating, right? Then after that, the HOD will have to pass to the dean. So the same thing will happen in this stage. Okay, he'll go to the dean is busy, then after that, the HOD will come at a later date. Okay, so basically, this one is a very time-consuming process. Yeah, not to mention that it requires a lot of labor in terms of walking to and fro, right? So wasting time, wasting effort. Now, let us imagine this in terms of bit digitized, yeah, by using email, right? So the process of using email is, say, for example, they receive online form, the admission department receive an online form, right? Then after that, the admission department will draft an email sent to the faculty admin. Then after that, the faculty admin will do their process, draft another email sent to HOD evaluation, okay, to the HOD for evaluation. Then the HOD will evaluate. Then after that, also again draft an email to the dean. Okay, so if anybody doesn't respond, basically there is no tracker. The most they can do is to send a reminder email. Okay, so the dean, okay, wanting to approve, they have to find from their email the original email seeking for approval. Yeah, you see? So basically, lesser labor of walking, but same amount of effort in terms of writing lengthy emails and sending to and fro to the next person. Yeah? Okay. So again, we have another process. Say, for example, this one is a process of procurement. Okay. So if let's say this happens in any other company that doesn't use an automation system, okay, the process goes from submission, approval from manager, approval from finance, and approval from CEO. Okay, so if this process is manual, again, they need to fill up a form. Okay, walk to the manager, then the manager will review, go to finance, and the finance manager will review. Then after that, finally send to CEO. If the CEO is busy, they'll need to come back at a later date. Okay, so email, same thing. Lengthy email asking for approval from manager. Okay, done doing their review. Again, the manager will send a lengthy email from the finance manager. And once that is processed, the finance manager will send an email to the to the CEO for approval. So again, very lengthy process, a lot of effort. Now, so if let's say, yeah, all these processes, it's a linear process. It's a very simple process that is only 4 stage. Okay, so all these are unnecessary work, yeah? So if all these can be eliminated, then your process is as simple as submission, approval, and the final approval, yeah? Okay, so all these processes, we put it in the workflow, okay? We set up a template for it, okay? The exact process from previously, okay? I just put it in the system. So let me show you a little demo, okay, on what it looks like if I use a system. Okay, so I'll be using this as a sample. I'll be using Docuflow 7, all right? So Docuflow 7 is a DMS with a workflow capability. So this is something that I just want to show you how it works on the system. So you have your procurement document over here, okay? So what you do is that you automate your process. Okay, say you have a procurement process workflow. All right, so you automate saying that the process first, upon submission, it will go to the manager. Then after that, it will go to the finance manager. And after that, it will go to CEO for approval. Okay, so you have your process in place. Okay, so this is what it looks like using a system. So if I am a person who wants to buy something, so I just put in the document over here. And for me, I just start a workflow. Okay. Put in a workflow. Okay. And over here, right off the bat, you can see the stages, okay, of approval. So this is, again, transparency, and it allows you to check. Okay. So I'll just start. Okay, I just start the process. So the process is automated. It runs in the background. Okay, so if I am the approver on my side, what I'll see is that I'll see it in a notification. Okay, the notification over here, it tells me that I have an approval pending. So by using a system, okay, by using a system, you do not need to enforce the process. You do not need to walk around, or you do not need to draft lengthy emails. Okay, the process will run in the background and notify you if there is anything requiring your action. Okay, so the difference is, one, you put the enforcement to an individual, to different individual to run the process. Everybody have an active role. Okay. Over here, if let's say you automate, you take out the enforcement from the individual to the system. So the system will run the process in the background. For the participants, they don't even feel like they are going through a certain process. Okay. So this is where it compares. All right. When you have a workflow automation comparing to when you do process manually and also through email. Okay. Now, so now that we did the comparison between normal processes and how is it if, let's say, the processes are automated. Okay, so the next thing is that how can you get started? All right. If, let's say, you started to engage a system for your processes. Okay, so first thing, you need to start small. Okay, so say, for example, if your company have around 10 processes, okay, you don't do all 10. You start with 1 or 2 processes. Do not overdo things, all right? Then the next thing is always plan out your workflows. Okay, the last thing you want is to have a wrong workflow that doesn't reflect your company process. So before you create in the system, always map out your process. Say, for example, you have a submission over here, then it goes to review and it goes to approval. Who are the reviewers? Who are the approvers? Okay? So always get feedback from the stakeholders who will be using the workflow. You always need to get feedback from them in terms of whether the workflow requires who is the correct approver, what is the correct process. Always get feedback from the stakeholders. Okay? And always test your workflow before rolling out. Say, for example, if you design a workflow in your system, okay, always do a test round with the stakeholders first. Make sure the workflow is correct, it goes to the correct person, it does the correct thing, okay, before rolling out to the entire company. Okay, now, so there are also other tips in terms of streamlining your workflows, okay, to make your workflow better. First of all, start with what matters most, okay? So what does it mean by that? Meaning, you start with those most tedious workflow or those that are most used or most commonly used, right? Or the most important workflows in your company. Say, for example, leave application or say, for example, claim processes. Yeah, you start with those that is of high importance, right? High importance, very painful workflows, most commonly used. Okay, so regularly review your workflows. Okay, so in an organization or a company or a business, it is very common that people change. Okay, position change and also processes change. So it's good that you regularly review your workflows so that it reflects correctly to your organizational processes. Okay, and also adopt the KISS principle. Okay, what does it mean by KISS? Keep it short and simple. Yeah, you do not want to over-engineer your workflow. Okay, so since that you already have different processes map out, okay, you just follow the process. Just because you can put like 5 approvers doesn't mean you should. Yeah. So keep your workflow simple because the last thing you want is nobody want to use a workflow because it's too complicated. Okay, so enough of me talking. So let's have a little bit of an activity. Okay, so for this quiz, we will giving up. We will be also giving up prizes lah for the top 3 winners. Okay, so for those who have paid attention, yeah, I would highly encourage you to take this quiz. Okay, let me open this.
Has anyone not scanned the QR yet? You can scan. It's here, right, Eric? On the
Yeah,
website, right?
yeah, you can scan the QR over here. Then let's be ready for the quiz. So again, there will be prizes given out. Just make sure that you give us your contact number lah and your details so that we can reach you. Okay. Anybody else? Only one player. Ayo. Okay. Anybody else? right? Okay, we need more players. Okay, let's give it another minute or so. Okay, so everybody ready? Okay, hold on. Okay, so I guess everybody's ready. Let us start. Okay, quiz 1 out of 5. What is a digital workflow? Okay, so a very straightforward question. Okay, 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, so
Oh,
three
nice.
have it correct, right?
Wasn't there 6 participants, Eric?
Yeah. What happened to the other two?
Not enough time code.
Okay, never mind. Let's try for the next one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Sam is leading, huh? So next one, question 2. All right. So this one, you can select multiple answers. Okay. So what potential costs might a company face as a result of mistakes in its operations, be it processes or documents? So what are the
So we can
potential
select
costs?
more than one answer, is it?
Yeah, select more than one answer. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Let's see. Okay,
Nice.
nice.
Very good. But still, there's two missing though.
Yeah, there's two missing. How come? Okay, so now Sam is leading and Andy.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
This is a very head-to-head.
Question 3. Okay, so this one is also multiple answer. Okay, what are the benefits of automating your business processes? Three, two, one. Okay, time's up. Okay, good, very good.
We have 6 people answering already.
6 people answering. Okay, okay, all right. Now Sam, Andy, and Hao Xiaohun is leading.
Still leading very
Okay,
good. Keep it up, keep it up.
keep it up. Right, question 4. This question rewards more points than the last answer.
Oh,
So digital workflows are better alternatives to manual and email processes. Why? Okay, you can select more than one as well. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, okay, all right.
we are down to 5 people.
Oh, down to 5 people
Oh,
again.
Sam
Okay,
is most likely the
Sam
winner
is
already.
leading. Okay, don't worry, you still have chance. Last question. Question 5. Right? Name one good way to start automating your business process. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay. Okay, so now, congratulations to the top 3. So the winner of this round is Sam. Congratulations, Sam.
Congratulations.
Thank you for paying attention. Remember to put in your number so that we can reach you with the gift, yeah?
Yes, please.
Oh, very good student, Sam.
Either that or we can, let me put in our email inside the
Yeah. Okay.
chat.
All right. So, okay. So this is basically a case lah that I've encountered before on successful automation. All right. So basically, this is just a case study on NPM RAN. Okay. So NPM RAN is a solution provider for transportation services. Okay. So this car rental business, yeah, had a paper-based manual rental process that is very time-consuming and is also prone to errors. Okay, so they spend a lot of time processing all these rental agreements and tracking rental vehicle, which takes time away from their other important tasks lah, like their marketing and their sales. So in addition, they have a limited visibility info in the state of their rental agreements and also vehicle maintenance. Okay, making it very difficult to maintain their fleet effectively. So upon implementing DMS systems and also workflows, okay, they are able to automate their processes. So all those processes is not enforced by their staff anymore. Okay, it's enforced by the system. All right. So with all those tedious processes gone, okay, the staff now have time to focus on all these important stuff, like say, for example, customer service and their marketing efforts. Okay, so now they have automated workflows to keep track with their rental processes, their rental agreements. So this one is done by their automated workflows, yeah. Okay. So now they are able to service people in a very effective and also timely manner. Okay. So this one is a success story. Okay. Other than that, thank you very much for your attention. All right. So before I go, I would like to introduce a bit on where I'm from. So the company that I'm from is called InfoConnect. So we've been in the the tech industry for DMS workflow for more than 31 years, right? So we have served more than 200 clients, and at the moment we have more than 80 dedicated staff and two physical office, one in KL, another one in Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay, so uh, without wasting all your time, do you have any questions? Actually, I see that one
Yeah,
of you have question, yeah.
we have
So
one
I'm
question.
going to address that. What kind of automation of workflow available? So automation of workflow. Okay. So workflow automation basically is the automation of business processes and also document processes. Okay. So in terms of automation, it can be fully automated or semi-automated. Fully automation means that if let's say you have a sales process, okay, the moment a person click on the buy button, the process will run. It'll go to the what do you call it? The person for the company. Then after that, they'll check inventory. Then after that, you check the credit card and so on and so forth. This one is fully automated. But majority of processes, yeah, in internal businesses is more likely semi-automated because upon having a person submit, say for example, a leave application, okay, the leave application will go to the second person for review, and the person that review will need to take action. Of course, the person will be notified, you know, they'll have to look over the details and then they just approve. But having automation, of course, is better than no automation at all. Because no automation meaning that you have to do everything manually. You have to find the reviewer manually. you have to send an email to the reviewer and manually. Okay, so having automation, you get rid of all those. You just need to fill in your form, submit, get it approved. That's it. So basically, hope I answer your question.
Are there any more questions from the audience? You can feel free to type onto the comment section, or you can also raise your hands if you want.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. There are more questions.
Okay. Other than for reviewing and approving documents, is
Wait,
there
hold on, Eric. There's another one.
uh,
Earlier one. Can create automation by Hernani.
can create automation using Google tools alone? For this, I am unsure on what Google tools offer, but if I remember correctly, it is possible. But chances are you might need to pay lah. Okay. So other than for reviewing and approving documents, is there other document process that can be automated? Well, there are a lot of processes that you can automate. Okay. Oh, welcome. Okay. There are a lot of processes that you can actually automate other than approving documents. All right. So it can be processes like procurement. Okay. So it can be other processes, mm, like say for example, uh, marketing processes. Okay, or when you come out with a draft for any proposals. Okay, so basically there are a lot of processes that you can automate, but of course you need to take a look on what are the process that you need to have it automate. Yeah. Start with the what's that? Oh, sorry. Okay.
No
No.
worries. You just answer. You just finish up your
Oh
answer.
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I just saw something pop up in the chats. Okay. No, sorry about that. Again, you for processes that you want to automate, look within into your company processes. Okay. A lot of process can be automated, but it depends on what you want to start with. Okay. High importance, tedious, okay, or even most used. Okay, let's say I have a lab and equipment. What can be automated? Lab and equipment. Is it the calibration schedule, etc.? Lab and equipment. So yeah, normally workflows, it just automate processes, any work processes. I'm not sure how it can integrate with lab and equipment. Like you say, perhaps the schedule, yes. Maybe notification, reminder, or something like that. Okay?
Thank you for your question, Farah. So are there any more questions from the floor?
Okay, any other questions? Or in case it's not clear enough, uh, you want me to highlight something?
So, the, do we have? Okay, so Eric, is it done already?
Um, on my side, it's done.
So should we wait for another question also? Okay, in that case, no worries. Uh, if there are no further questions, we will wrap up today's session lah. So for those of you who do still have any questions or concerns, I've already typed in our company email. You can just send your questions or concerns for today's sessions into that email lah. So we will respond accordingly. For those who we will probably do more research into your questions, and then maybe Mr. Eric will we will email back for those the answers lah. Okay. Uh so that's it. Once again, a very big thank you to Mr. Eric for this engaging session, and thank you everyone for your participations and your attention lah. I hope you enjoyed the session today. You've been a really fantastic audience. I hope you really also gained some valuable insights from today's session lah. Thank you once again, and have a great day.
Oh, you
Sorry.
want the slides, is it?
Oh, slides. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be sending it out later on. No worries. Just maybe give me your contact lah. Okay. So whoever wants the slides, just drop their contact to us lah. Okay.
Okay.
So again, of course, if you have any other questions as well, do reach out to us.
Can.
We'll try to address it promptly.
Yeah. This session's recording also will be uploaded. So we will upload into our YouTube. We can share the link when we share the slides. Is that okay,
Okay.
Eric?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you for attending.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you everyone.
I hope you get something from this lah. Right?